Good evening. Voters are turning out in huge numbers for election 2000.
It is being called one of the closest elections in over 30 years. The election has not been called at this time, at least for the presidential race. Obviously, it's neck and neck. First, Al Gore had Florida, a big cherry to pick tonight, and then they moved it back into the possibilities column, going back and forth between Gore and Bush. Right now, Bush is in the lead for those all-important electoral votes. And now, let's go to Barbara Reyelts. She joins us from the newsroom with more on...
Okay, Barbara's not ready yet. Let's go to Kim Kaiser, who's standing by live now with more. Kim?
Hello. Now, several local lawmakers have taken the stage since I spoke to you last here at the DFL party. They are predicting a great night for local DFLers and DFLers all across the state. But everyone is still watching with some concern as these numbers that come down during the presidential election here that is so tight. Now, it's especially hard for some of the people who have worked so hard for Gore during the campaign on a local level. And I'm joined here by two DFL volunteers. We've got Joel Heller and Uriah Doolin. Now, guys, what's it been like watching the numbers come down?
Heartbreaking. I mean, the heart's pounding a mile a minute each time a result comes in. Like when they took Florida away to undecided, your heart hits the bottom. It's like holding your breath every second.
It has been difficult, I've noticed, for a lot of supporters to watch, especially because of all the hard work that you guys have done. What have you done to try to help this campaign here in the Northland?
Well, campaigning has been a little bit tough. Me and Joel here, we've covered about probably 3/4 of Duluth, just lid dropping, making phone calls, doing a lot of really hard campaigning. It'd be really nice to see Gore come out on top.
Now, we've heard a lot, too, about I understand, a senior at Denfeld. We've heard a lot about the youth vote going possibly to Nader. What have you guys, you've decided to vote for Gore in this particular election to support Gore. Have a lot of other of your classmates or other young people thinking about voting the other way?
I have a lot of friends that consider Nader as they're sick of the bipartisan politics, and they're just going to go along with the Nader vote because they think it's the best of the tale of two evils. So that's a lot of my friends do. I don't know what.
But you guys obviously very strong Gore supporters because you've worked so hard with all of your help. Well, thank you both very much for talking to me here today, and we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Kim. Now, the race to the White House isn't the only tight race that Minnesota's voters are facing tonight. Minnesota's U.S. Senate race also came right down to the wire.
Barbara Reyelts joins us from the newsroom with more on the Senate race. Barbara, what do you have for us?
Well, Mark and Michelle, Dayton has been declared the winner. He took that Senate seat away from Republican Senator Rod Grams, giving it to the Democrats. And though the national media projected Dayton the winner about 3 minutes after the polls closed, it was never that sure a thing. The polls had Dayton ahead for much of the race, but Grams made a strong comeback in the last few days. But in the final tally, it looks like Dayton has taken the victory, and he was a very happy man today as he spoke to us just shortly before he headed over to make his acceptance speech.
Oh, I don't think there was any one moment or any one issue. I think it was a whole constellation of issues that Minnesotans care about, and a lot of hard work on behalf of a lot of thousands of wonderful supporters all over the state, for which, again, I say thank you. And
he said his first order of business was to go over and thank all of the volunteers and people who worked for him so hard through this campaign, and also to thank the people who made all of his many television commercials. That was the third most expensive Senate race in all of the United States. Dayton spent millions of his own money on this race. The outcome was that he defeated the incumbent Senator Rod Grams, and he is expected to make his acceptance speech very soon. And conversely, Grams is expected to make his speech very soon thereafter. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Barbara. We will be checking back with you shortly. Well, although they didn't put anyone into office tonight, the Green Party did put up a tough fight.
Local party members reacted to today's results.
And as they run through the states, there's a good presence for the Green campaign, and it's just been really kind of exciting. It's suspenseful. I'm anxious to see how it turns out, but I think that the Green campaign's done a great job.
And just a reminder, if presidential candidate Ralph Nader gains 5% of the vote, he will get special consideration in the next election. Well, there were plenty of other races going on in Minnesota and Wisconsin today.
That's right. Many state representative seats were up for grabs. Now, in District 3B, incumbent Lauren Solberg beat out challenger Catherine McGlynn. A three-way race in District 5B has yet to be decided. District 6B, there's 5B with Tony Sertich with 76. District 6B with Tom Huntley with 59% of the vote. The incumbent there, Tom Huntley.
The seat for District 7A saw incumbent Dale Swapinski winning over Alan Kerr.
And Mike Jaros won the District 7B seat. And Mary Murphy will be representing District 8A after beating out Ray Wheeler. Well, Wisconsin also had a couple of very big races for voters to decide.
Incumbent Democrat Herb Kohl has regained Wisconsin's U.S. Senate seat over Republican challenger John Gillespie. This will be Kohl's fourth term in office. Another incumbent, Dave Obey, has regained his seat as representative in the U.S. House. Obey beat out Republican Sean Cronin.
And Democrat Frank Boyle has beat out challenger Darrell Hellenius for the District 73 Assembly seat. A good night for Democrats here in Minnesota, but still a decent night for many of the Republican frontrunners. Jana Katsuyama joins us now from the Republican headquarters. Jana, even though they didn't win a U.S. Senate seat today, still not a bad showing.
That's right. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you for a moment, Michelle, because as you can see, the Bush camp here is the Republicans in the Northland are really standing up, and they really, I think looking at the presidential race, seeing Florida kind of go up in the gray area, you've really seen a change in the emotional atmosphere here among all of the Republicans, the diehard Northland Republicans who have gathered here tonight. Now I'm over at the Comfort Inn in west side of Duluth with a large number of people, not only who are supporters of Bush and Graham's, but also a lot of the Republican candidates who are running for some of the local elections. And one of those is Bernie Pissner, who's here with me tonight, who just got done with one of the races against Tom Huntley. Kind of a tough race. How are you feeling now?
Relieved. Really relieved that it's over with, and it's been quite an experience.
It must be hard, I mean, as a Republican running in this kind of traditionally Democratic area. How was that for you?
Well, I figured if the people, didn't want a Republican, they could leave Huntley in there. So it's all up to them.
Do you plan on running again?
You would ask that question, wouldn't you? I don't know. Right now, I'm really unsure myself. I've got to take care of township business.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. Well, and it looks like they are at least planning to be here until midnight, which is when they have this headquarters room reserved. But there's really been a lot of interest. It's been very tense here as people watch the numbers and are really waiting to see how things fall. And like we've been hearing all night, things are up in the air, but the energy here has really come back in terms of the confidence, I think, that the Republicans can end up really doing quite well this year in the elections. Now back to you.
Well, Jana, you brought up confidence. I think this is the first time in, say, at least a decade that the Republicans here in the Northland have had something to cheer about come election night, especially with Bush kind of hanging in the balance. And, of course, we will be going back to Jana with a little more on that later on in this newscast. Now, the political storm isn't the only thing swirling tonight.
George, a little snow might blow into the Northland, right?
Sure has, Mark. I got to tell you that the snow's been coming down steadily all evening. A lot of folks have been glued to their sets watching the election returns, but for those of you who've been glued to the porch light, you've had at least a little show. Not sticking down here. This is, as my sainted mother would call it, white rain. It hits the ground and it melts. A little bit of slushy accumulation on car roofs and things like that. Not a big deal downtown, but inland, Cloquet, Duluth, up at the Weather Service, as you get inland, say, from Two Harbors, about an inch of soggy accumulation is out there. Take a look. We'll show you the radar from around the region. There was that little band of snow that curved up and through the region. It'll get done, give it maybe another hour, 2 hours to clear, and then I think the snow will probably let up for a little while. But some more snow showers are possible tomorrow. It's not going to be a big deal, but it has been enough to get the ground white in some locations and get the first official inch of accumulation up at the airport. How about those temperatures? The reason why it doesn't stick is it's not that cold. Finally has dipped below freezing, but again, downtown here, you see in the corner of your screen 36 degrees. Contrast that with Sioux Falls. It's 250 miles to our south. It's 10 degrees colder, but that's been the whole thing with this storm. It's gotten itself so curled up that the cold air has been arriving from the south all day. Anyway, I'm going to come back in a few minutes. I'll give you more details on the snow that's falling now, but also our prospects for a more considerable snowfall as we approach the weekend.
All right, thank you very much, George. Well, big question here. Are you ready for winter?
We'll find out what you can do to be safe on the roads this winter. That's and the weather later on News 6.
Keeping you in touch with today's news with Michelle Lee, Mark Mallory, meteorologist George Kessler, Tom Hansen Sports, and special reports from Barbara Reyelts. You're watching News 6 at 10.
My doctor gave me this advice on my last checkup. Relax. Avoid stress. Don't get all worked up. In other words, don't go car shopping. I blow a gasket just thinking about pushy salespeople and price haggling. Then she prescribed the Krenzen way. Krenzen's non-commissioned sales force makes purchasing a vehicle simple, straightforward, stress-free. I get the best price first without the wheeling and dealing. I'm going to be around a while, and I'm going back to Krenzen.
The Krenzen way, car buying for today.
What steps do you take to live healthier? We offer our members a plan, a blueprint for health. From an innovative stop smoking program to flu stop at work and healthy start prenatal care. And from our supportive disease management programs to an information-rich website, Blueprint for Health delivers on our promise to you. We're building a better health plan, and there's even more down the road. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota, a new shade of blue.
Learn a new skill. Meet your lifelong goals. Discover the excitement of learning at UMD's continuing education. Innovative and creative opportunities for continuous learning through the resources of the University of Minnesota, Duluth. Both credit and non-credit classes and professional programs for people of all ages. Courses that help meet the needs of the students who cannot attend during the daytime. Now with new online classes. If you have the desire to learn, call UMD Continuing Education, 726-8113 for more information.
Summer's over. Winter's coming. Soon we'll be shoveling snow.
What's so funny?
Comedy Night is back at Black Bear Casino. See the hottest comedians live in the Lady Slipper Lounge every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Heat up your winter with Comedy Nights at Black Bear Casino.
I thought you were laughing at me.
No, you're not that funny.
Black Bear Casino.
You're in touch with News 6.
And welcome back to Election 2000. You know, the numbers are still coming in, and we'll pass them along to you as soon as they become available. And also, if we hear anything about the presidential race, we'll go right to NBC. So hang in there. We'll keep you posted. Well, snow is in the air, and that means it's time to think about winter driving.
This is Winter Hazard Awareness Week, and Marine Tallarico reports on some safety tips you should keep in mind before you head out onto the road.
Love it or hate it, winter is on its way, and soon scenes like this will be commonplace. That's why the phone is ringing more than usual at 4th Street Auto Repair as motorists get their cars and trucks ready for winter.
What we do here at our shop is we've got a winterized checklist, we call it. Just a couple things that we check, obviously, is the battery, condition of the tires, obviously the antifreeze, brake inspection. We've got a list that we go through, and tires also to make sure there's enough tread on them for winter driving and things like that. So.
Captain Clarence Nyland of the Minnesota State Patrol has been helping stranded motorists and crash victims for 28 years. He says the best thing to do to avoid trouble is to winterize your car and to slow down on icy roads.
And in the wintertime on snow and ice, everything has to slow down. Everything. Not just your speed, but your steering movements has to slow down. Your braking has to slow down. Because any sudden movement, any sudden change in speed, any sudden change of direction on snow and ice can put your car into a spin.
Last year, traffic crashes claimed 626 lives in Minnesota. And on average, each winter, one person dies because they abandoned their stalled vehicle. Troopers hope to bring those numbers down by having motorists take the time now to prepare for what's soon to come. In Duluth, Maureen Tallarico, News 6.
By the way, the average cost of winterizing your car is about $40.
You can also safeguard yourself by carrying a cell phone and stocking your car with survival gear like road flares, a warm blanket, and of course a flashlight.
We're going to take a break, but here are some more results from this year's election.
Have a great time out at Fond du Luth Casino. Play blackjack, slots, or bingo. Get a ticket. Then pick the prize you want and register to win. One easy way to enter. On November 12th, you could win Viking tickets or a trip of your choice with $500 spending cash. And on November 26th, you could be the owner of a Ford Explorer Sport Track. Register for one or all three. No hook, no gimmick. You qualify just for playing at Fond du Luth Casino.
Have a great time out at Fond du Luth.
I love the holiday season because you're getting the house ready, you've got friends and family around.
Where to, hon? We go to Walmart a lot.
For turkey pans.
I'm almost embarrassed to say probably 2 or 3 times a week.
I like these. There's something for everybody there.
Not only that, but the price is right. You can count on that.
I like to go to Walmart. Yes, he does. He's not kidding about that.
Walmart has everything you need for the holiday season.
I'm going to get this for you for Christmas. Look at that.
A haircut kit,
Haircut kit.
That'll do me a whole lot of good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Mother Scholastica Kirst was a woman of vision. My dream, she said, is someday there will rise upon these grounds fine buildings like the great Benedictine abbeys. Within their walls, higher education will flourish. In the field where she stood long ago stands the College of St. Scholastica. Imagine what you can do.
So there you go, up to the lake to search for Mr. Whitetail with your buddy from Duluth and a cooler full of pop. And you're in the all-new 2001 Ranger 4x4 with a 3-liter V6, AC, anti-lock brakes, and a CD player so you don't have to tell Orly and Lena jokes the whole way. Don't you know? Hard to say what's better, paying just $185 a month or not having the lutefisk for supper. The 2001 Ranger. If you don't live around here, you just don't get it. Only at your Northland Ford store.
Want to go to the Viking-Packer game at the Metrodome on December 17th, but you don't have any tickets? Johnson Brothers Furniture in Duluth and Cloquet want to help. Just stop into the area's largest furniture showroom and register to win one pair of tickets on the 50-yard line. First deck. While you're there, check out these great deals. A queen-size pillow top mattress set with a 15-year warranty, $4.99 a set. Berkline leather recliners and Broy Hill sofas starting at just $4.99. Register to win at Johnson Brothers Furniture in Duluth and Cloquet. Just the best furniture.
Meteorologist George Kessler holds the seal of approval from the American Meteorological Society. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Hermantown Millwork.
Welcome back, everyone. Time now for a quick look at the weather around the region, which has been going steadily downhill all day. Temperature up at the airport now 30 degrees. It's not snowing very hard anymore, but of course what little we have did stick on the grassy surfaces. 32 even downtown, 31 up in Hibbing. And with temperatures cooling off, that runs the risk now of things beginning to ice up, especially the bridges and the overpasses. So motorists, if you work third shift, maybe you work really early tomorrow, just take it easy because you don't want to run into a slick spot because the chances are it'll be black ice just because it's right there on a wet road surface. Winds are out of the south at 15. Don't expect that to warm us up, though. Winds out of the south have been piping in the colder air all day. In fact, look at these temperatures. 32 Aiken, 32 Hayward. It's cooler down here and has been snowier than it is up at International Falls, although I Falls is now jumping on the cooling down bandwagon. Here the temperature's in motion. Look at what this storm has done to temperatures, curling them up in the east and then ringing around. And these are chilly temperatures. We're talking 4 degrees this morning up in Glasgow, Montana. Anyway, so the cool, it's very yin and yang if you look at it. But eventually we'll be getting more, I think, of the yin of cold than the yang of warm. And that's going to set us up for a very November-like week. Satellite picture, there's a storm system. Notice it's lost all of its friends, though. It doesn't have any connection to the Gulf of Mexico. And without that source of really rich moisture, it can't cause that much trouble. You do have some lingering snows over in North and South Dakota, and they picked up 6 to 10 inches out there. So they had some decent accumulations in this part of the world. But now that the storm has made the full turn, cut off its own supply of moisture, so it's not going to do a whole bunch more. It'll just go curling up. Again, maybe an inch on the grassy surfaces, but since the ground is so warm, that snow is actually going to be melting from below. I know it sounds strange, but heat's going to be coming up. Flows from warm to cold, so into the bottom of that snowpack, and away it goes. Snow Tracker does show that one band working its way through the Northland. The accumulation's well away from the water. If you're watching us from Superior, Gary, West Duluth, any of those locations, probably have some on the top of your car, but that's about it. The funny thing, down to our south, it's been snowing all day. Places like the Panhandle of Texas, where you don't customarily expect them to get snow before we do. It's been a strange day all around the country, and they've been seeing the snow down there. Here's our own personal little snow band, the most intense one now right along the Bayfield and Douglas County line, and then on up now into Lake County. I mean, if you live in Isabella, inch, maybe a little bit more of accumulation. That's about all you can expect. And this will continue to tilt and turn and take its way up toward International Falls and Fort Francis. Is there any more behind it? Sure, we're going to have a storm system that will then crank around a little bit of a wagon wheel right there. That little trough of low pressure is going to be triggering some more snow showers tomorrow, but without a lot of moisture. Again, I really doubt that it's going to have the ability to cause much in the way of difficulty. But in the wooded areas, I know hunters like that tracking snow, and I do think you'll probably get that at least well inland, which of course is where most people hunt. Off to the east, a lot of rain, but if you look out to our west, you will see a storm system gathering, and that one could have ramifications for our weekend, although we still have a little time to go. So for tonight, getting snowy out there. If it's not snowing where you are, but it might be here shortly. Other places it'll be wrapping up. It'll be off again, on again. Winds in the south and the southwest, but again, that's a cold direction with temperatures heading for the freezing mark. Could be some icing up on the bridges and overpasses. Then for tomorrow, snow showers here and there. Temperatures in the middle 30s. I think that's about as high as we're going to be able to go, and a lot of locations may even stay right around the freezing mark. 6-day forecast. We get a break. Thursday and Friday, might be a few clouds around on Thursday and 1 or 2 flurries, but overall just calm until Saturday. We see the clouds start to increase, and by Sunday, Monday, it's still going to be a coin flip, a little nerve-wracking, but we may be talking about a more significant snowstorm headed our way. We still have a lot of time to wiggle out of that one. Mark and Michelle.
Okay, thank you, George.
We're going to be right back. Stay with us.
Hermantown Millwork utilizes the latest in computer technology to give perspective to your vision of the ultimate kitchen. Hermantown Millwork also makes it affordable by eliminating the middleman for big savings. By working directly with the manufacturer, they can offer you a custom-built kitchen at lower than factory-built prices. You get top-quality cabinetry and components built to your specifications at an incredible price. In addition to cabinets, they manufacture countertops, vanities, and other installation. Visit Hermantown Millwork, 2 miles north of Menards on Highway 53.
It's your last chance to save on remaining 2000 models at Engelbrecht Chevrolet Oldsmobile. Save $3,648 on a 2000 S10 extended cab pickup. Yours for only $212 a month. Save $44.99 on a half-ton Suburban LS. Yours now for only $499 a month. Save $1,759 on a 2000 Chevy Impala with a 3.8-liter V6. Yours for only $321 a month.
That's at Engelbrecht Chevrolet Oldsmobile, where you, the customer, are always number one.
Don't even think about it. Why do we always have to wait for the captain? Let's eat!
The power of cheese. Individually, they are standouts in their respect.
This is a national sales alert from Dodge. Effective immediately for 5 full years. Get 0 APR on 2000 Dodge Stratus and Intrepid, 0.9 APR on 2000 Dodge Dakota and Durango, and 4.9 APR on the all-new 2001 Dodge Caravan. See your Dodge dealer immediately, as these 60-month finance offers can save you over $5,000.
See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Hey, all these bags are missing their heat wave cores.
What's that?
Andy, we can't deliver hot pizzas without these cores.
The exclusive core in the Domino's Heat Wave bag delivers your pizza hot. Domino's, bad Andy, good pizza.
Call Domino's for 2 large pizzas with 2 toppings for only $13.99. That's 2 large, 2-topping pizzas for just $13.99. Try Domino's new Cinesticks for only $2.99.
Ed George is back with a final look at the forecast.
For those of you who may have forgotten, in the intervening time period, we'll talk about the forecast again. Here's the gig. We have some snow going on tonight, and snow showers are going to linger tomorrow. For those of you who live inland, we could be talking about some accumulation, so just keep that in mind. It doesn't look like it's going to be sticking on the roads very much, but with temperatures falling, there may be some icing up bridges and overpasses. I'm sure the state will get the main roads, but the side roads could be difficult. Thursday, some lingering clouds. As we go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, another storm system down to our south is going to start winding up. If you're with us last week, we were looking at this storm. We knew it was going to be close. It ended up being mostly rain. Same situation with this next storm. Rain snow line is probably going to be somewhere in our neighborhood. So tune back in.
All right. Thank you, George. Yep. Thanks for watching.
And now let's join NBC's coverage of Election 2000.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men, downtown Duluth. Closed captioning provided by Johnson Brothers Furniture.